We're doing Cynthia Bailey. Cynthia was born February 19th, 1967 in Tuscumbia, Alabama. I don't know the time, so we can't do rising. We can't do houses per usual. But her chart is very exciting, so let's do it. Okay, here's the gorgeous, gorgeous chart of Cynthia Bailey. Would you look at it? It is packed. And she's a Pisces. Very, very Pisces. Let's look at this. So her sun is in Pisces, obviously, but she also has this stellium here of Mercury, Chiron, Venus, and Saturn. So she is an embodiment of Pisces. If you want to see person as Pisces, you would look at Cynthia Bailey.
And I'm a Pisces, so it's like I'm always gonna live for love.
Yes, she has other things, but like, come on, so much Pisces. Some nice, cute little quick things about Pisces. They're emotional.
Kenya and I fell out after the Ultimate Girls trip. I was talking at one point and you were like making faces with your eyes. I was excited about putting this together for you guys. I just would like that same respect.
Cynthia,
But
you
why?
didn't turn up, and I don't know why.
It took several months before Kenya and I had a conversation after the girls trip.
They can have a softer quality. Some of these other things, you know, will be softer specific, but it's a softer quality. It's very artistic. It's very smooth. It's very, you know, lovey. It's very lovey. It's very compassionate. They love love.
Well, who you like now, child? Who are you kicking it with now?
Well, honestly, like,
And is it a male or a female?
I don't really.
And when am I gonna meet him?
Okay. There's a lot of questions.
They can also be a little bit of a procrastinator.
10, 2020.
Right.
You go on honeymoon.
Where are we going?
You come back. Where do you go?
Well, we're either gonna be at Lake Bailey or we're gonna be, you know.
They can be sometimes a little bit martyry, sometimes a little bit victim-y, and just kind of how they're processing emotions sometimes, you know. Sometimes you have to blame somebody else before you can blame yourself. Or take responsibility, not blame yourself, take responsibility.
Me and your friends, just like you guys are all tight. We're friends.
Have you ever thought it was you and not us?
Why have you ever thought it was you and not me?
No, what I'm saying is, if you're saying it's all of us, you're saying it's all of us.
I don't see anything that I'm doing differently.
The devil came out over there.
See, you didn't watch it like when you was with us and we laughing, we talking. You know,
Like the one
whole
time in
conversation
Africa?
changed.
What, you talking about the one time in Africa we hung out?
We've talked outside of Africa.
Yeah, but we've only had an issue. What was in
What I'm
Africa?
saying to you, me and you never had an issue.
No, me and you're good as far
Never.
as I know.
If you're saying that we always change, have you ever thought that you could change when she come around?
No.
They can just get attached very easy. Pisces is about releasing things in general, but it has to release things because it gets attached very easily.
It better not be in here. Oh my God. This is not it. I know it ain't. Look. She signed it. Did she say she signed it? Oh my God. Peter. Where's Peter? Peter. She had it filed. She had it filed.
No. I'm gonna burn it. No.
You okay. Burn it?
It's over. French contract is dead. It's over.
The sun is the present. That's the thing that you're going to have most present on your mind in your life day to day. Mercury is there, Chiron is there, Venus is there. Venus and Chiron are at the exact same degree, and Saturn is there. So other parts of her life are also being called upon to be Pisces. So with the Mercury, you know, she's a little more soft-spoken, we'll say. It's more of a just like, we're not getting to the point right away. We're kind of going on a journey with a Pisces Mercury connection.
Actually, Peter talked to Apollo. You know, he had a lot to say about the situation, how he felt about going in, and, you know, the whole, you know, leaving the kids and all that stuff. And there was a lot more said, but I mean, I could just put it on the table, but if we're not really going to put it on the table, then, you know, it is what it is.
That Venus there it's just that planet of attraction. It's a very beautiful place for Venus to be because it does love and it likes dreams, and it just has this capacity to really bring people to you. And it's very sensual. It's a very sensual connection as well.
I love for a man to feel like they want to marry me, but for some reason, when we get to the part where they actually want to get married, I start to like freak out a little bit.
Saturn there, Saturn is a little bit at a loss in Pisces sometimes, because that is the planet of structure and responsibility, and Pisces is like, no. So it'll break down some of those barriers, and it's very easy to let people into your life that take advantage of you with a Saturn in Pisces.
I heard that he's going to take the opportunity, like as an opportunist, and be with you, and that he is dating someone else.
And since Saturn is about learning, taking responsibility, the responsibility of that is to put in those firm boundaries. And we don't know in what area of her life, but putting firm boundaries somewhere, since it's connected to speaking and love and that core wound. It's standing up for yourself, putting up some boundaries with people who might not be the best for you.
I love you, I respect you. I just can't be married to you anymore. That's it.
And to look at Chiron a little bit, I know it's a wound around relationships. So it's also a wound about feeling that the world is kind of turned on you a little bit, and maybe you feel like you're just like naturally not a lucky person sometimes with that Chiron and Pisces. It can feel like, you're not gonna find the person you're meant to be with. So I know she's been engaged a lot.
I have been engaged a couple of times, at least 3 times.
She's been married a couple times. So it has that feeling of like, is this ever gonna work out? The world's against me, it'll never work out.
I think I'm getting Mike at the best time in his life right now. But he has cheated on his wives before me. What makes me different?
Also though, with Pisces, there is a real capacity for understanding. So that can bring in those people where you're trusting the people who maybe shouldn't be trusted because you are trying to relate to them and give compassion to them. And especially if they sing you a sad song, you're gonna be like, oh, come over here, I love you. And so it can be seen as Pisces being weak a lot of the time because they just are able to accept a lot. And maybe they shouldn't.
I see you in this video, looking like you kissing somebody and touching all up on her neck.
That's what it looked like to you?
Yeah, so I don't understand how, like, anybody can videotape you.
I saw that video, but I didn't think it was a big deal.
And with all that stellium there, specifically with the Saturn and the Chiron and all of that, and the Venus actually, it is, it can be seen as weakness. And maybe it is.
She had me, who's a huge personality. She had Joyce, who's huge. Lisa was on a bottle of Riesling, and she was shaking like a bobblehead, and Cynthia was just there.
But it's also something that is born out of a love and care.
We all know very clearly that Kenya definitely gets scrutinized the most about her relationships, okay? You know, it's always like, oh, you know, you got like fake boyfriend, he
So
ain't
when
real,
you get
whatever.
a real one, that's when you bring him around. Very
I've married now.
It will bother me that I have not met my friend's husband. Like, that would bother me.
I do want to meet him, but I don't want to press her to do it.
Real, like, really married, like in love. Where are you running off to?
I'm not running off to anywhere. I'm walking out of the room because I don't want to hear any about Kenya right now.
She has a kite in her chart. You can see it. It's this lovely, lovely, lovely thing here. So it's made up of a grand trine. She has a grand water trine. Some sextiles between Neptune and Jupiter, with specifically Uranus, but since Pluto is conjunct Uranus, you know, we talk about them together. And then oppositions. So we have the opposition with that Uranus-Pluto connection, and specifically the Chiron Venus conjunction, but again, because they're conjunct Mercury and Saturn, they come along for the ride as well. So, what a kite is it's a very, it's a pretty rare astrological happening. And essentially what it is these blue lines of the trine and the sextile are very easy connections. They make things, you know, easily, like, I keep saying easily. They are kind of like lucky. They help you in life, these connections. However, because they are so easy, sometimes those can be ignored. And at a certain point, if you haven't been, you know, trying because they have been easy for you, when it comes time to put in the effort, it's harder for you. But the kite is beautiful because it has that built-in opposition. So it's forcing you to work on your talents. And yeah, it's just, it's what gives a grand trine sometimes, where it's not activated, it activates it. So looking a little more closely, this water grand trine I mentioned also brings in Jupiter in Cancer and Neptune in Scorpio. So Jupiter is about that expansion, Cancer is that big mothering energy. It wants to love, it wants to take care of.
You love me more than anything?
Yeah.
You love me more than your iPhone?
Yeah.
What about from the Karate Kid? Will Smith's son, Jaden Smith, you love me more than him?
Yeah.
Did you ever think about that?
Again, that can sometimes be letting in the wrong people because it is connecting with this, but it is also, you know, yeah, she said she was thirsty. Believe the woman. She said she's thirsty.
You know, you already looking at dresses and he ain't even proposed. That's coming off thirsty. Yes, I am thirsty. I'm marrying this man. Y'all behinds are gonna be happy about it, and leave me alone.
And Neptune in Scorpio, it's about having deep drive and dreams. So I know she was a model. She was a very successful model. I don't know much about it except that she was successful.
I am a supermodel who has traveled the world.
Hell yes.
Worked with some of the top photographers.
Beautiful.
Top models.
Probably wasn't the easiest path, I'm assuming, to become a model and to stay in that industry. Pisces is also connected with the arts, modeling, fashion, artistic field. So I can see, you know, this growth and these dreams and this beautiful artistic quality really coming together when it is opposed with this Uranus and Pluto in Virgo. Because the Virgo is bringing that daily determination. And with Uranus, it's bringing in the anything can happen quality. Pluto is that slow change over time. So this is the part of her that gives her that edge and gives her that I will work hard. It does also give her this idea of like things need to be perfect though. And, you know, can be a little stickly, a little prickly, a little, you know, write up a friend contract.
You're gonna think I'm like a lunatic.
What do you have?
But I have like a friend contract. This is like a 1-year contract. You can't break it.
1 year.
Unless you send a notarized letter explaining why you want to void the contract, and then even then it has to be signed by like the president.
This is the thing that keeps her getting up though. So I mean, I talked about the modeling, but again, this seems like it's probably having to do with relationships as well. So really just, she won't settle. And that could be another reason why she's had many relationships. She wants the perfect one.
On one hand, it's like I don't want to stay in something if I'm not happy, but then, you know, I wake up, you know, the reality is, you know, I'm a 55-year-old woman, and it's like, all right, damn, you know.
And if it's not perfect, she isn't afraid to acknowledge that. So even though the lovey-dovey, she just wants love, that is true, but she does want it to be the one. She's had a lot of the ones, but yeah, she wants it to be perfect and she won't settle for anything less. And I think that she demands that of herself as well, which is nice. So yeah, that's the little kite there. Let's just touch on the moon. It's in Gemini, most likely. If she was born very, very, very late at night, it has to be like after 11 p.m. or something. It could be in Cancer, but it's more likely that it is in Gemini. And I think this is what gives her that social butterflyness of it all, of going around and meeting people and networking and not really being afraid of people.
Hi, how are you? Miss Bailey is in the house. Look who's here. Hey, what's up, friend? Yeah, you know I had to come and support.
I guess that's what I mean. Pisces can just be a little bit more introverted, and when you have that much Pisces, it can make you maybe stand back a little bit, which she definitely does.
But she read you, honey. No. She read you. I'm sorry.
She did.
She did not.
She did.
But she also isn't afraid to talk to people. And I think Gemini Moon, she's out there. She's with the people. And it can sometimes be a little bit surface. And I think that's actually very good for her in this chart specifically, because so much of this is about depths of emotions and feelings and really getting deep in there, that having this kind of lighter side of Sears with the Gemini Moon, it's probably nice to keep things light and moving for her.
Peter Anthony Thomas.
Yes, honey.
Hi, honey.
Hi, honey.
I love you so much. I know we don't always get along. And I guess that's part of being married.
Because nothing else in her chart is really asking her to do that. So I think Gemini comes in with a nice, like, just breathe, baby. Just breathe. Just talk about some lip gloss and it'll be wonderful.
I'm wearing yellow because I feel like I try to represent light, and yellow is the color of the sun. And I don't want to rain on anybody's parade today.
That is Cynthia Bailey. We haven't had a lot of Pisces. Pisces is not a popular sign for housewives. There's been a couple, but they aren't necessarily the ones you remember. Except for Cynthia. Cynthia's stuck around. So if there's people you want me to do, let me know. If there's people you don't want to do, I guess don't tell me. Yeah, subscribe if you want, and goodbye.